Welcome everyone to a very special edition of the Graph Espresso. My name is Steph and I'm here with a bunch of wonderful people from Pinax who were in Brussels for all of that action just a little back. So we'll be talking about that event. We'll be going over some pics, over some videos, highlights, lowlights. Should be really interesting. All right, before we jump into the content, I'll let everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with Vincent, Cedric, Jana, Martin, and Fred. Go for it.
Hey guys, I'm Vincent. I'm one of the co-founders at Pinax, and I manage the everything administration.
Hey everybody, my name is Cedric, and I'm helping Vincent on the finance stuff. I also do the HR at Pinax.
Hey everyone, I'm Martin, VP of Marketing at Pinax, and I'm known to wear the Firehouse helmet at a lot of conferences around the world, and in Brussels as well. Next up, Jana.
Yeah, you should have seen us with the helmets. Jana, Director of Community Operations.
Hey guys, I'm Fred. I'm a backend engineer at Pinax.
There we go. So that was the crew that was out in Brussels. I was at home working the social media, trying to support the team out there. It was a pretty crazy week. So many side events, so many main events, so much content. And so let's get into it. Let's see what it was all about. First day on the weekend, first event was the AI Day. Who attended that event?
Yeah, I think that was the event where we all met. Cedric and Vincent were there a little bit earlier because they flew into Brussels like 2 days before. And then we finally met each other at this epic building. Like one thing that we can say about Brussels, like they have epic buildings. Each of these conferences was a surprise. I think the AI Day was in a natural history museum or historic museum. We saw some totems there and like interesting stuff, and have all this futuristic AI there. And it was pretty impressive.
I think the highlight for me was meeting Martin and Jana and Fred for the first time. It's been like since 2018, 2019 that we worked together, but now was the first time to meet in person. So I think that was the highlight for me for that trip for sure.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. We did share that picture on Twitter. Everyone, big smiles. And I know how that feels because I did that just last month in Berlin, meeting Martin and Jana and Fred for the first time as well.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see all this decentralized AI stuff. I definitely learned a bunch of things, like what can be done with decentralization in AI, how this all works together. And on serverless BXL, we had actually from the Graph protocol, Sam Green giving a talk exactly about this topic on one of the panels. That's why we basically went to this event one day after the AI summit.
Great pic of you guys in front of that banner. And so that was a good way to warm up the week. Over the weekend, kind of a pre-taste of what was to come. But to your comment, Martin, about the epic buildings, that was definitely my first reaction when I saw those pics coming in. The pillars, everything looks so ancient compared to our buildings in Canada anyways.
Serverless was in the old post office, like the old, like where all the posts happened. That was pretty interesting. And one interesting contact we made there was from Octafy. I think, Vincent, you were pretty impressed with this team. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. I think we met with Mathieu from Octafy, and I really like their what they're building, essentially like using machine learning to feed data into their algorithm, and then just keeps learning and keeps it helps categorize the data for accounting purposes, and anyone that wants to analyze the blockchain. So I thought that project was very interesting.
Awesome. And then you guys had your first party. Actually, yeah, there were big events, there were side events, and then there were parties too. How was the Rave DAO by Polygon?
That was basically the kickoff event of the ECC. It was called the Aggregation Rave. And speaking about historic building, that was a club being in an old chapel. So the whole thing was in a church. And when we kind of entered, we were like blown away by the stuff that's happening. They had some awesome swag. You see like Vincent on this picture, like rocking these LED glasses. I think you took them with you to Canada. Saw them at many other parties afterwards. And pretty interesting first party we had there. Congrats to Rave DAO. Pretty great event. And sponsored by Polygon mainly.
I was pretty jealous that I couldn't go with you guys. Really felt the FOMO all week, especially when you guys were sending me custom videos saying, Steph, where are you? Why are you in Canada? It's so great out here. And this little review here is not helping my feelings of missing out. But anyways, we'll continue. So Monday, 8th of July, EthCC Day 1. How was that, Martin?
That was pretty amazing. We met so many people from the Graph community for the first time. We see Marcus, Mathieu from StringFast, Marcus from EdgeNode, Paolo from the Graph Foundation, and so many other people. Tegan had her keynote there with Pablo and introducing to all the builders the new era of the Graph, the sunrise of decentralized data, all that is happening, but also gave a good outlook for what's to come with Graph protocol. They mentioned 5,000 substreams, world of data services, lots of interesting stuff, and a great presentation by Tegan. We can share later in the after production some video about how the whole presentation went.
Yana, anything stood out for you from the first day at EthCC?
Yeah, I haven't been there. I was on around at side events. So
oh, that's right. You were running the side events that day.
Yes. I had 46 side events stacked up in my Luma. So yeah, I enjoyed.
Day 1 of EthCC was also the day of the epic VIP sunrise party. So I think that was one of the side events that we were all excited about. And I think in the previous slide we saw some images there. Exactly, it was at a really, really interesting bar. Again, very historic building. They had really nice food, had a long line of people waiting, had a pretty impressive rave cellar. So in the basement, there was serious rave going on. They had a garden where super crowded, really impressive event. Well, hey, we haven't talked about the epic side quests of Cedric yet, which started with the sunrise party. So Cedric has an amazing energy when it comes to parties, and every time he comes up with a interesting side quest that he wants to achieve.
Yeah, so basically I love to do this kind of things while I'm at parties, just because it's just fun to do those things. So the first one was at the Graph Sunrise Party. So I told myself that I was going to take a picture with Tegan, and mission accomplished. So yeah, there you go.
Great picture. I think it was in one of the previous slides. And for everybody that doesn't know, on this show, Tegan Klein, CEO of EdgeNode, pretty great achievement.
Definitely a big mover and shaker in the space. Very cool, Select, for you to meet her. Pick. Okay, Tuesday, day 2 of EthCC. Was there was a brunch, right? Was that the brunch day?
No. On Tuesday, it was the day after the sunrise party, and Denis came to visit us. So he in the morning went to EthCC, and he met a lot of interesting folks there. He went there super early, so that's a secret tip for everybody that wants to go to a conference. Go there early. When nobody's there, you get direct access to all the stalls. And we went actually to the L2Con. So that was one of the major topics at this EthCC. So many roll-ups and L2s and L3s are flooding the space, more or less. And so the L2s had their own conference. And that was L2Con, where we as a team went, and we met a couple of people who are launching layer 2s on Ethereum. Again, in an epic building.
Yeah, speaking of epic buildings, the VIP dinner for Web3 and infrastructure here also looks very regal and, I don't know, feels like looking at royalty in these pics. How was that event? Who went there?
Yeah, so I went to the VIP dinner. That was very good. Made lots of great contacts, met great people there. So just from the image we see, Florian was the lawyer that worked on the case where Ethereum, the fork in 2013, 2014. So I think just talking with him was very incredible. He's working on this Nodes International thing. There were some people from OVH Cloud, which are like huge cloud providers, 3,000 staff, and they're everywhere in Europe. Alephium, Flux, there were plenty of people from various projects, but it was like incredible just to see the quality of the people there. I met some VCs, some bankers, and some people building some great projects. So yeah, great event for sure.
Yeah, you definitely met a lot of people, acquired a bunch of great contacts that I thought that was really, really great to see. And okay, let's move it. Let's keep it moving. Wednesday, we had some bowling apparently.
Yeah.
What else was going on there? Was there a rave? There's some bowling. Did you guys do any work, or was it just partying that day?
Well, it was the third day of ECC. So during daytime, I went to the ECC, met again a bunch of people. Last day, saying goodbye to a couple of folks. But then, we set our there are plus 500 side events, and many of them were fun. And we definitely wanted to represent Team Pinax at this tournament. It was not just bowling; it was a tournament where everybody needed to do a game and then share their scores. And our big winner was Cedric with 120 points. And at the time, he was I think when we left, he was in the top 10 still. So not bad. He didn't win the final prize of $1,000, but I think we did a good impression, showing up in our jerseys and helmets. That was definitely fun. And we also had Fred joining us on Wednesday. And so it was day one for Fred, and he immediately jumped into the best party of the week, hosted by Abe.
Sure.
How was that, Fred?
Yeah, and just joined in the afternoon. I finally got to meet Cedric and Vincent for the first time. And then, basically went straight to a very great party. Great music, great lighting. It was the party highlight of the week, I would say.
It looked amazing. You guys shared a bunch of footage. We did a video recap, which I recommend everyone watch. Looks really great. And these Aave people look like they know how to put on a party.
Yeah, everybody was looking forward for this rave. It was like a limited supply of tickets. They gave away a bunch of tickets. Like when you went to Shi-Fi Summit, you would get a ticket. They invited all the girls to dance basically behind the booth with the DJs. It was really nice vibes, amazing party. And another side quest for Cedric.
What was the side quest at that party?
So that one was a little bit ambitious. So I told myself that I was going to go to the VIP section. And then I wasn't able to do that because they were bouncers. But later down the evening, I got a bracelet for somebody in the VIP, and I just went in. So yeah, another quest completed for me. So
I love this idea of party quests. I'm surprised I've not done that. That's right up my alley for sure.
Yeah,
very, very
I
cool.
tried 3 times to get up there. So it was again like an epic building. And had this balcony, like the second floor, where everybody could look down on the crowd dancing. I tried 3 times. Anytime the bouncer got me, and then at the end of the party, I see Cedric showing off his VIP bracelet. He not even got in there. He got the bracelet, which is amazing. He was wearing this for the rest of the week as a sign of pride.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Same day, by the way, we've been on the secret rooftop. It's not in the presentation, but we've been passing our hotel. And I was like, wow, this looks like a luxury hotel. Everything golden, everything top notch. Going to our event, and then what's the next one? We're going to the secret rooftop of this hotel we just passed. So it was an amazing event, amazing panel talk and speaker, and again we mentioned it, venue kind of out of this world. Yeah,
I think there was the one by Kion. It was about the launch of Polygon Maiden, I think.
With it,
and they introduced this interesting spin of Polygon with a privacy spin. Yeah, it was all about privacy
and legislation. Yeah.
All right, and the next up on the Thursday, we had the Zero to Dap Day, which was organized by the Graph. Basically allowed people to learn and build with curated hands-on workshops and tutoring from the Graph core devs like us. Although we weren't one of the core devs organizing this event, but we were there. Fred was there. I'm sure Fred answered some technical questions. How maybe Fred, maybe you can share how that event was.
Yeah, for sure. It was like a full day of workshops, and you could really get into the Graph stack. So you would start like pretty simple, creating your first step, and then extracting the data from the blockchain using a simple subgraph. And you could work along. So you had your laptop, and you could just follow the people that were presenting from the Graph and the Graph core devs. And so at the end, you really had like a simple dApp and a simple subgraph, and you could deploy it to the test network. And and then there were some few deeper workshops as well. So you could get into the substream technology. So we had someone from Streaming Fast being there who showed us the newest tech from substreams. So they would auto-generate the code, and you could just deploy it to use that in your subgraph to speed up your indexing. And finally we had someone there from Semiotic who gave us a sneak peek into their AI technology that they are currently developing. And I think that one's gonna be really interesting when they launch it on the Graph.
All right, awesome. Sounds very informative as an event. All right, any other thoughts from people on Zero to dApp Day?
Yeah, it was basically the whole idea of Zero to dApp was like it was one day before East Global. And the idea was to give all the hackers that attend like East Global, the hackathon, to get up to speed, get like all the various components that are in the Graph and leverage them basically. So I think that was a really good idea to do this one day before East Global.
Okay, and then Thursday at night, there was the Make Ethereum Great Again event.
Exactly.
Who attended that? Oh, that was the rooftop?
Everyone. Yeah, this was again a rooftop.
A different
the
rooftop.
Yeah, the picture is in front of the building. It's kind of a large main plaza. Looking at the picture on the right side was the ECC venue. On the left side was the National Library of Brussels. Very old building, again, impressive building, and it was a rooftop party in there. So they had amazing DJs, amazing Belgian fries, and I think on top of the party earlier that day, they had 2 weddings on that rooftop.
There was
Crazy
one wedding,
Web3. I think
Cammy
even
from
2,
Baratine did her wedding there, yeah. It was pretty interesting. We missed
Very
it
cool.
though.
And looks like Cedric got a great hat. Make Ethereum Great Again hat. Nice.
Yeah, that was another side quest. That was my last side quest. So those hats were pretty limited, but I came home with a hat like that. So I'm pretty happy about that, yeah.
What about that meme investor hat? Do you have that one?
Yeah, I still have that one, yeah.
How much do I need to pay to buy that hat off you?
Oh, a lot.
But don't charge me too much. I'm already down a lot on my memes. So no, that's great. That's pretty good.
It might be in your swag bag that we shipped to you.
That's
might
right.
be.
You guys are sending me a surprise pack of swag. That's awesome. Okay, Friday, July 12th, the main event starts. ETH Global Day 1. So we who went to ETH Global Day 1? We had Martin, Fred,
Yes,
and Vincent. Vincent, how was that event for you? What kind of first impressions did you have on that first day?
Yeah, I think it was incredible. Just the amount of hackers that were there. Like, I was very surprised. Like, we get in the first big room, then like there's like 500 people there, and so many tables with plenty of hackers. Like, oh wow, this is a big event. And then you just go into another room, then oh my god, there's like 100 more there, and then you think that's it, and you just like stay there for a while, and then you find another room which has like 500 people in it, and like, holy crap, like there were like at least 4 big rooms, and in total was like 1,000 something hackers. So I was just impressed by the amount of builders that were there, and there were like at least 50 different booths from various teams giving away prizes for the hackathon. So I was just like really impressed to see like how many people are building. It's like, hey, like crypto's not over. Like we're still early phase, still building cool stuff. So yeah, insane event. Yeah.
How about you, Fred? What were your thoughts on that first day?
Pretty great. I was equally surprised that it was that big. Yeah, so we spent a lot of time at the Graph booth, met all the Graph people again, and handed out a lot of swag before we then started to get all the people the help they need to build their subgraphs and win great prizes from the Graph.
Yeah, great folks from the Graph. Was nice to meet many of them and discuss.
Yeah, the event looks really nice, like really, really cool. The colors, the lighting, the people, the laptops everywhere. Yeah, it looks very cool for sure. Any other thoughts on day one or maybe the rest of the days for you guys on Eat Global?
Yeah, shout out definitely also to Kevin, who did yet another great workshop there. We saw in one of the earlier pictures. I really liked this idea of the wristbands, which were basically like a connector. It had an NFC chip there, and we all could connect when you tap the phone on somebody's wristbands, and you see like, you know, where they're coming from, and you could connect. And actually some people were building on that data during the hackathon. So they converted the NFC chip later on to a wallet, and we'll see maybe another future East Global event if like this kind of network that we're building there will continue, or if you can, you know, connect to people beforehand, team building wise for future hackathon. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, definitely recommend like to watch at all these, like I think over 300 projects that came out of East Global. You can still see them on the East Global website. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, and there was a side quest from East Global this time without, I think, Cedric involved. They after the event, they published a leaderboard, like who scammed the most people, who connected to the most people at the event. Yeah, there was a prize.
Did Vesa win? Vesa is a beast at connecting with people.
No,
we didn't win that prize.
There were people like seriously trying to hack that because like they had like these dinners and everybody needed to stand in line, and there were really smart people just like going through the line like, please connect me, please connect me. And I think like the end prize, I think somebody made over 300 connections, which then East Global was covering your flight cost, so it was substantial, right?
There
Substantial
you go.
price, I would say.
Yeah, nice grind for the free flight. Very cool. Jana, you were not at Eat Global. You were at 43 other side event.
Yeah, no, I was on the last day of East Global and pretty impressed what everyone else said earlier already. I saw some sticker on laptops. I was like, hey Martin, have a look. Pinax stickers here. And I was like, yeah, super cool. Good job, we saw on that. You dropped really a lot of stuff on the tables. And yeah, I mean, I have the list of side events here, but I'm not going to mention all of them. So we have a few.
What was one of your favorite side events that stood out to you at the week?
Yeah,
let's say outside of the parties. Outside of the parties.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the parties because they've been like over, like they top the stuff we've been earlier. I mean, all of the events been impressive. I loved the first day, like the AI Open AI Day organized by I forgot by Erika Kang. And I mean, generally, all the side events been amazing, organized. Almost too much side events because you cannot spread yourself. But yeah, when you ask me, like we had a lot of fun on the events, but we learned a lot too. So it's hard to balance this out. I'm looking at the Arcway Sumo SmackDown. You saw some pictures. We watched the Euro Cup in a bar. And the bar, I didn't know that was community owned. So in Brussels, there's like a DAO owned bar, and again, super interesting. For me personally, the IoT stuff excites me the most. I mean, we've seen a lot of deep in infrastructure serving into AI, like renting out GPUs, renting out machine learning infrastructure from decentralized networks. One thing which was super cool. The other thing I showed, like I'm working on automatizing. Well, I can't. On home automatization. So there was some project that have like IoT communicating with a blockchain. That was like super interesting for me personally.
All right, cool. Anything else from you guys? I think we're just about wrapping up the end of the week here. Anything else? Any other stories you guys wanted to share before we sign off?
I just this event, Brussels Week, just felt different from like events from 2017, 2018, 2019. Like there used to be like many apps building on specific chains. Now it's like everyone's building their own chain, and also that's what VCs are looking for. Like, hey, do you have your token yet? Or like, they really want to like invest in projects that are building their own thing, their own network of something, deep in AI stuff. It was just like impressive to see like how the, I guess, industry has evolved. And yeah, it was interesting to see like there were many VCs wanting to invest, many projects creating new tokens and a new utility for Web3. So yeah, it was very interesting.
I just wanted to add that we were super lucky. Like there were a couple of like events where people got robbed. We were safe and sound. Everybody on the team went home safe. Jana's car survived. We had like one minor incident, and some thieves only stole like 2 packs of mayonnaise, which was, you know, the crypto gods were in our favor. And I think we're excited to see all the future events of East Global, like Singapore, San Francisco, Bangkok are still on the roadmap for this year, and Pinex is going to be there.
That's right. We're not done with events this year. We've had a busy last couple months. We're gonna have a busy end of the year as well. So if you're out there at these events, you see us, definitely come say hi. We love meeting people. If you see the Fire Helmet, definitely come grab a free pro plan. We're giving out free pro plans to people we meet at these events. All right, so that's it for this very special episode of the Graph Espresso. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for joining, and see you around, everyone. Bye.